Hi, today on the G3 Boardroom, we are going to be talking about Tesseract.
Let me put on my glasses so I seem intelligent.
Yes. This is a game where you have to sort of disassemble
The Tesseract?
the different elements in the Tesseract, and you want to contain those elements. And the goal is you fill this, you contain 24 unique elements, and then you win the game. You lose the game by either using up all of the elements in the Tesseract or by causing too many of these primed elements to occur, and then your breach counter goes up till you're dead. And as you can see,
Which is what happened.
It's still in the position where we died.
Yep. That's a good summation.
I like the mechanics. It's one of the most unique ones I've seen since I've been on the channel. It's really done well. Instead of just the regular dice, you got the little designs, which are kind of neat. Makes it a little more futuristic or alien. And there's plenty of things how you can work together to do it, which I like about it. I mean, I was primarily working defense. You guys were working on the containment.
I liked how you said where you can work together, which of course implied we did not, which is not wrong.
I meant coordination, I guess. There's different options for coordination. I'm curious to see what the other character skills can do, because this one was mostly aimed at the taking care of the primed area.
Yeah. And there's quite a few other researchers in here. I mean, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, there's plenty of variety there for sure. This is one of those games, it definitely has a table presence. You know, when you see people playing, there's a big block of things. You look at it and you think, geez, what's going on with this thing? And that's actually why I bought it. I'm like, what's going on with this thing? I enjoy this game. It's essentially, it's kind of a math puzzle. You know, you're moving things around, you're manipulating the dice to get them to the positions you want, and then, of course, they have to go into contain. When you finish contains, you get certain specials as well. I think what ended up dooming us here is I'm looking over at the pile of destroyed dice, and we had a problem with yellows and purples. And looking over here, there's 6 yellows that are destroyed, there are 5 that are primed, and we have 1 here. Bob's got 3 there, but it's like, when that happened, and you wonder, since these come out randomly every time, it's like, did it really just happen that our lowest ones were yellows and they just kept falling off? And that's probably likely. So you should pay attention to that when you're setting up, that you don't end up with a bummer of a draw.
But see, my ability was to move things around this Tesseract, and I did not do very much of that. But maybe I should have. Maybe I should have looked ahead and say, hey, I need to protect these yellows and start moving. I think we did maybe a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I think it was maybe too little too late.
More of the event cards were coming out that say, take a dice out of destroyed and put it back on the Tesseract, or put something. Yeah, I was hoping that there was going to be a little bit more.
I played this game in the past where that happened a lot.
Oh, okay.
And we needed that to happen. I think it happened maybe once in the game that we played.
Once or twice. I seem to remember doing it at least twice. We were taking them out of there. But you guys are right. You know, there are cards in here in research that let you do different things, and they're all powerful. But the ones that let you take stuff out, destroyed. I mean, our destroyed pile is quite significant. But again, look at the flavors. The yellows and purples are very prominent in the destroyed pile. Oranges a little less so. Blues like none. There's 2 blues there, 2 blues here. Now we're done with blue. But look how many blues are left on the thing. I mean, and you got 2 on your card. I got 1.
Yeah,
and they're all equal amounts, for sure. But look how unequal it went coming off the board.
And I think that's just a testament to, I just misplayed, you know, because my ability was manipulating the Tesseract.
If you want to take the blame, you take the blame.
Well, I was going to also say that we hit the events really early. And a lot of them came out really early.
And that's the thing
that made the Tesseract just dissolve.
I did notice that's the thing about this game. You do hit them early.
Yeah.
Because you take a cube off, well, what happens during threat phase is you take the lowest one. Well, now the next one's the lowest one. And now the next one after that's the lowest one. And now you're taking an event.
Yeah. Okay.
So now the events we did get were the ones where it's like, oh, prime another one. Prime another one.
Yeah, and we did some bad
and another
rolls.
one.
Yep, there was a couple.
Yeah, he rolled like 4 2s in a row.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
brutal.
Because by priming, you take it off here, you roll it, and then it goes into the primed area. And anytime you get more than 2, you lose a
you're
life
breached.
in
Yeah.
essence. Yeah.
Back to what we were saying, I think the components are good enough. It has a nice table presence. There's lots of replayability because all these dice come out
That's
randomly
different
every time. You got 12 different guys to choose from. That's pretty good. Even the cards here, I think there's 9 that go around. You only use 6 of them per game, so you're going to get some randomization there too. I like things where it's different every play. It's definitely different every play. The discs here, you get 4 of them, and they're all different difficulty levels. So it goes, they're 2-sided, so you got 1 and 2 all the way up through 7 and 8. We played on level 2 and got smoked. So
Yeah. And we barely made it halfway to victory.
that is more than halfway.
Well,
Thank you. That's like 60%.
okay.
Yeah, but the rest of yellow was over there.
Yeah,
We were going to
yeah.
make it, even if we could have staved off the prime. And
That was the
Reach.
thing too. I think we saw that doom coming. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, we got no yellow.
And I was even thinking, I'm going to have to mix and match to even contain.
to throw yellow over, right?
Because at first I was thinking, okay, I get this, I contain the one, and then I've only got 2. So then I'm like, oh, I got to go and get different colors and different sets and different runs.
Right.
So
A word on price. I think this one's $39.99 retails for. That's a bargain.
I think
Yeah,
so,
it's a bargain for
with
this
all
game.
the pieces and the quality of the
Yeah.
Now,
cards and
Jason didn't see this, but you didn't. There is an upgrade package that was done with the Kickstarter for this game, I believe, where the pieces are metal. But the game is $40. That upgrade package is like $80. So it's like,
Yeah, it's
I can't do that. I'm a budget kind of guy, budget gamer. That ain't happening.
Well,
Yeah.
you also mentioned that there's different levels of difficulty on
Yep.
those.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, and there's numbers right in the center of them.
Because
This
I don't
is
think
2, this is
ever,
1.
we ever saw any of the ones on the
Oh,
right. 'cause
prepare
they
to
were-
be marveled. There's a whole set of.
Oh.
Where are they? Yeah.
Yeah,
So you play with this side, but these right here,
those are
they're
worse.
not even on our difficulty thing.
Okay, that's what I was going to
They're
say.
not even. And then none of those.
Yeah.
None of them are happy.
No.
Like, oh,
Yeah, they sound a lot worse.
go
EMP
for a
wave,
go
EMP
for a
blast,
windy walk with a unicorn. No, nothing.
shockwave.
Shockwave, yeah.
That's like a Decepticon.
I was going to say it sounds like a transformer.
Yeah, this game it's fun. There's like you said, there's a lot of replayability. I like that it's cooperative. We probably should have done a better job of seeing each other's abilities and making sure that we use them. There's a lot of passing dice to it, or a lot of ability or opportunity to pass dice back and forth from each of our labs to other labs, and that's really important. We might not have done enough of that. My only knock on the game is the you get all 64 dice and they're stacked up on here,
Yeah.
and I mean these dice are maybe a little bit lighter than regular dice, maybe the same, but it's an issue. When you're taking these things off, when you're turning this thing, boy, those dice start to
Yeah.
quiver. And when you start removing dice, you might have one section that's 4 high, but everything around it is down to 2. And so you've got
Yeah.
this really precarious wall up there. And the rules don't address what happens if that thing falls over. We just figured, well, house rule, we
House
lose.
rules, you lose.
Yeah.
Right, it blew up. Sorry. I think that could probably be solved with the $80 metal dice pack.
We played before and we were joking around saying, well, what you need is the dice to be metal, then you get like a magnet to pull the dice off. But I don't remember my elementary school science. I think if you use a magnet on a metal dice, won't it just pull the whole
It
thing
might
off?
magnetize the ones next to it.
Yeah, so
Just put in water.
And
magnets
the
don't work in
metal-
water.
It would add some friction and make it even more difficult to get out.
yeah, that's true. And they start knocking columns over.
I had
I
a-
wish that there was a way for them to make this a little bit easier to pull the dice
and
off.
it is a problem, especially if you have people who are just have naturally a little bit shakier hands. You might pull one off there.
But we couldn't even put our elbows on the table.
Well, that's the problem of the table, not the game.
But everybody,
this is not a card table.
Yeah.
This is like an oak dining room table.
Or pounded on the table.
I don't know if you guys have concrete tables at
yeah,
home.
that's about the only thing that's not going to shake on you.
Yeah, it's definitely a concern. It definitely is. I'll make fun of you about that, but it's definitely a concern.
I think that could have been addressed in the game design. This is, this cardboard is a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been addressed in the game design.
I do think the dice they feel a little slick. And so when they're piled up there and you're trying to take one, it feels like inevitably you're bumping the stuff next to it.
Yeah, but then you want that slickness so you don't have friction knocking things over.
Yeah.
It's
so I guess, play with any surgeons you might know with steady
Practice
hands.
that operation before you play.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I enjoyed this game. Like Bob said, I'd like to play it again because I'd like to win this time, but
Yes.
it is what it is. It's a good one. It's a good price. I like the variety, and it's worthwhile. It's worth your time.
The only thing I was going to comment is it says it's 14 plus. I don't think the game mechanics are that complicated. But I think now that we were talking about having the balance and the patience,
The physical challenge element of the game
would
Right.
require
That's
a
gonna
little
be an issue.
steadier hand. But before that, I was thinking you could probably go as young as 10, maybe. But
It depends on the 10-year-old.
That's
but
true.
I think that is exactly why
yeah,
that's the age level.
you could
Your
only just-
mechanics are not that complex.
You can just dedicate one person to be the
grabber.
playing operation, pulling this
They're
off.
yelling at the kid the whole time. Don't touch the table. Don't touch the table.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Don't even look at it. Don't look at me either.
But I like, even some of the art. I mean, it's not a very art-centric game.
No.
But that's kind of cool. But I
It
like
does its
the,
thing.
I like this game. It's fun, and my gosh, at that price point, we know that games with dice are the most expensive component in the game.
Yeah, after miniatures. But games with dice like this,
Yeah.
it's the dice.
Because I've talked to designers, who are like, dice is the biggest expense, and so they try to keep that in mind when they're designing the game. And this game's dice centric, so that's a pretty good price point for that. And with the amount of replayability, and the game doesn't really take that long. Our playthrough took a little bit longer because we knew we were dead, so we were trying to really. Avoiding death takes a lot longer than charging towards victory. And like when we played, when we were winning, it's like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do and things went a lot quicker. But when every move you make is going to kill you, it takes a lot longer.
Yeah, you were moving on the containment real early. Oh, yeah, the orange almost done within a few turns.
I was rocking
It's
it.
like,
That's when I very stupidly said, I'm winning this game. And after that point, it went downhill,
Yeah, so
But I'm a very
big-
arrogant man who tends to think all his plans will work. So.
So that's really our biggest complaint with this game is that the game designers could not mitigate arrogance
Yes.
on behalf of the players.
I would definitely recommend this one at $39.99. I also recommend that you hit the like button, hit comment down the bottom. Maybe you've had more success with the game than we had. We normally win it. We didn't this time. But hit like, comment on the bottom, hit subscribe. Really helps the channel out. We appreciate you.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.